Secretary Coloma, Chairman Gordon, distinguished speakers and panelists of today's conference, representatives of the media of the Philippines and the region, colleagues and friends of the Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, ladies and gentlemen. I first want to start by making a confession. It's tough to speak after Veronica Pedrosa, Secretary Coloma, and Chairman Gordon. I do not have their rhetorical capacity, so I'm not going to embark on a long and boring speech, and I'm going to keep it short. In the name of the ICRC, I want to thank you for your participation in this event. It's the first time that such a big group of senior editors and leading media personalities from Asia-Pacific region have joined the ICRC to discuss challenges of reporting on situations of violence and other emergencies. Some of you have come a long way to join us from New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, Korea, China, and various parts of the Philippines. So thank you for joining us. We have a long history in Asia and Pacific, and over the years the ICRC has had to adapt its activities and humanitarian response to the diversity of situations that are present in this region. When we started to work here in the Philippines, for example, 50 years ago, we were visiting only so-called political detainees, the hook-back movement. Today we are working on a diversified range of activities still driven by humanitarian needs. We work with the authorities to address globally causes of overcrowding in jails and prisons of the country. We enhance livelihoods of vulnerable communities affected by armed conflict, violence or hardships such as natural disasters and forced displacements, mainly with our main partner, the Philippine Red Cross. And we talk to the media now, yes. That's something new. I can remember that almost 15 years ago when I joined the ICRC, talking to the media was like crossing a red line, and that was almost the safest way to be sent back home if we did so. So things have changed. Things have changed because we need to engage with media on key issues that have an enormous impact on people's lives. You play an important role in helping us to identify and respond to humanitarian needs. And this conference is a valuable way to enrich the dialogue and approaches tackling issues at the level of Asia-Pacific. We recognize that the media in Asia-Pacific countries represent a major source of influence worldwide nowadays, and we want to hear your views. We want to hear your perspective on important regional issues that are affecting people's lives and livelihoods, such as migration, environmental degradation, and rising inequalities. You report the news, but you also shape opinion, and that is also influencing events and developments in the society. You, media of Asia-Pacific, have a key role to play in raising awareness of violence, emergencies, and other issues faced by vulnerable communities. In recent years, there have been huge changes in the way that facts and information are gathered, shared, and reported. You had to adapt to a changing environment. We all must recognize that technological and social developments have an impact on media coverage of conflict. And these changes, they also have an impact on the conduct of our own humanitarian activities. Some of these thematics were tackled today at this conference, like the impact of social media, media independence, responsibility of media in emergencies, and safety of journalists. We wish to thank all participants, a distinguished group of media leaders, movers, and shakers for their for their efforts resulting in today's declaration, making recommendations and sharing best practices. And we thank you again for your openness and willingness to reflect on these issues today. We are hopeful this event shall not be a one-off initiative. As a follow-up, we see that we can expand the network of media professionals supporting this venture on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media. We will share the presentations and speeches, and these will be made available shortly on the ICRC website. And there is also still the old-fashioned way. We encourage you to stay in touch with the ICRC delegations in your respective countries. I'm sure my colleagues in the region will certainly be interested to carry on with discussions started today. And finally, we are pleased to say that there will be another regional conference with Asia-Pacific media in 2013 in the region. I hope that you will take forward these proposals to cover situations of violence and emergencies safely, fairly, accurately and responsibly, and that you will promote them among your colleagues and counterparts in Asia-Pacific. We hope this conference today shall be a contribution to a positive and concrete difference for the lives of many people in Asia-Pacific. Maraming salamat po sa inyong paggalo. Thank you all for coming, and I wish you all a very good evening and a safe return home. Thank you.